Knockhill is ready for more from the touring cars, one of the highlights of this action-packed afternoon. Round 20 of the High QMSA British Touring Car Championship. Can Jason Plato build on his earlier success? Louise is down on the grid.
He's down on the grid with a man whose face you're going to be seeing a lot of for the remainder of the season, because as we heard at the top of the show, he's making his British Touring Car Championship debut with Team Dynamics at Silverstone. But he's here this weekend shadowing James Thompson, whose seat he's taking over Johnny Herbert. Johnny, how's the weekend going so far? Has it been interesting for you?
Yeah, it has, because obviously I need to learn a little bit more about these types of cars, because everything I've been spoilt in my career. It's always been rear engine and mid-engine and rear drive. So at the end of the day, I've got to learn a lot about a front-wheel drive car.
And what's it going to be like for you returning to the British racing scene? Because how many years is it since you were racing regularly in this country?
Well, it was 1987 when I did British Formula 3, so it's been a long, long time. So it'd be nice, because obviously the British fans have always been wonderful from all the way through my career and many other drivers. So it'd be great to get back and race in Britain again.
And race at Silverstone, a circuit that you not only know well, but you also run the British Grand Prix, didn't you?
Yeah, sure. Again, that's something, it's a great memory going back there, but also racing at Rockingham and then Brands Hatch. The last time I raced at Brands Hatch was when I had my accident, so it's going to be an interesting 3 races for sure.
Now, there are a few problems for the Team Dynamics car in that last race. I know they've had to change a gearbox and an engine. Everything all back together?
Yeah, everything seems to be fine. Again, this is motorsport. These things happen. You know, James has done a brilliant job this year, and Dave the same had that problem with the gearbox. But at the end of the day, we've still got 2 more races to sort out a nice finish for the weekend.
Well done. We look forward to seeing you there. Now, I want to grab a quick word with, I've come round to the wrong side of the car. He's a left hooker. With Colin Turkington, championship leader. How was it last time out for you?
Yeah, it was a tough race. I was involved in a pretty big battle. I was running really well in the beginning, running third, but I just couldn't get past Gordon, and then I slipped back a bit, but I finished 4th, so it was still good points.
You had maximum ballast on for that first race, so presumably with the car a bit lighter is going to make things easier for you?
Yeah, that should help. It's not an easy pull out from the last corner, so with a bit less weight, it should be quicker along the start-finish line, so that'll give me a bit more speed. Hopefully I can move forward.
Okay, right, let's go and grab a quick word with Johnny Adam. He's lining up alongside Colin on the grid. Didn't have a brilliant getaway in the last race, so let's see if he's going to make an improvement to his starts this time round, because you didn't get away brilliantly last time, did you? What was the problem there?
Just obviously on the slope here, it's hard to actually physically see the lights, and I just got caught out really. Didn't see the lights, and all the cars went bar me really, so it was quite a poor start.
A fairly lively race last time out as well, quite a few incidents going on.
Yeah, it was close racing. Obviously a little bit of contact with with Matt and Rob, but yeah, we managed to get Fabrizio in the last corner there to get up to 5th. But the car felt good over the race there, so hopefully we could challenge up the front this race.
Get onto the podium with this race?
I think so. Obviously the guys in front now have got a little bit more weight than us now, so it'll be interesting to see how the race go really.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. Now, Johnny mentioned Fabrizio Giovanardi, who had a few problems in that last race. A little technical problem at the end, which partly allowed Jonathan to get past. So let's grab a quick word. Fabrizio, tell us a little bit about the technical problem you had in that last race.
It wasn't really a technical problem. I mean, when I was in the last corner behind Colin, I think the engine just put some exhaust in the inlet, so I had a failure in the engine, so I couldn't stay in front of Adam. No, it's all right.
Now, your car ran fantastically last time out at Snetterton. Do you feel you're getting to grips with this circuit now?
Well, I expect better results now because I don't carry anymore the ballast, so the car will be for sure quickly.
Well, we look forward to seeing you making your way up the grid when we'll be back to see how Fabrizio gets on after this break. Thank you.
The wind is buffeting Knockhill, but the circuit is dry and the anticipation is high. It's round 20 of the British Touring Car Championship. In the commentary box are Tim Harvey and Ben Edwards.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yeah, well, Jason Plato's got the first race of the day under his belt. Can he make it 2 out of 2 now, Tim?
Well, it's going to be a lot harder because he, of course, gains 27 kilos and correspondingly, Colin Turkington loses 27 kilos. That's a big performance differential.
Well, it's going to be tough, but let's see what happens. This is what the grid looks like then, with Jason Plato on that pole position. Alongside him is Gordon Shedden, looking for 2 podium finishes. It's been a good weekend so far for him. Back on the second row of the grid, Matt Jackson That's Plato's teammate, of course, with Colin Turkington leading the points for Team RAC, starting in 4th position. Behind them, we've got Johnny Adam, hoping to get a better start this time, and Fabrizio Giovanardi, the man he passed on the last corner of the first race. And then it's Andrew Jordan, the second of the VX Racing machines, with Stephen Jelly alongside in 8th place. 9th on the grid, Paul O'Neill and Harry Volkard in the Bamboo Engineering Chevrolet. And then 11th on the grid, Tom Chilton with Martin Johnson alongside in the Boulevard Team Racing Machine. John George lines up 13th. He's got James Thompson alongside him for Team Dynamics. And then it's Dave Pinkney and Rob Collard. Collard coming from towards the back. Of course, he was involved in an incident earlier. And right at the back of the field, the man he was involved with, Matt Neal. So he's going to have lots of work to do, starting from 17th place. So that's how they all line up. Now, Colin Turkington is starting in 4th place. We'll try and have a little word with Colin. He's carrying our radio on board for this race. This is Ben in the commentary box to Colin. Colin, the BMWs weren't quite so quick off the line as we've seen at other circuits. How's it going to be this time?
Yeah, I think it's not easy here, Ben. It's a shorter run to the first corner, and the Chevrolets aren't slow off the line either, so that's why it was a wee bit difficult the last time.
It's a busy old circuit, this one, isn't it? We better let you get on with it.
Okay, thanks.
You can really see there. I mean, the focus, and we saw it with Gordon to a certain extent, it's very different talking to the guys on the warm-up lap here at Knockhill than it is somewhere like Snetterton.
Yeah, I mean, he's busy warming his tyres up, but he's also got cars around him. The circuit is never in a straight line. You could tell that his focus was really not on the conversation with you, bless you, Ben, but he was really getting himself ready for the start of this race, which is crucial for him. And rightly so, because the championship is still very close. He knows he has a good advantage this time. He had a fast car in the first race with maximum ballast, and it'll be a faster car still if he can get past Jason Plato.
Well, that's the target, but Plato, of course, trying to make it 2 wins out of 2 here, which is what Turkington has done a couple of times this year. James Thompson is a 2 out of 2 man. Giovanardi managed to do it last time at Snetterton, so is Plato going to be able to do it here? Let's wait and see. Gordon Shedden, of course, on that front row with him. Matt Jackson went well in that first race, coming up from 6th on the grid to finish in 3rd. So let's wait and see what happens as this race gets underway. Paul O'Neill, you can just see further down the order. And what about these guys from the back, Tim? How much chance do you think Matt Neal has here?
Well, in fairness, this is the circuit that offers the best opportunity to move forward. Not necessarily because
Plato in the pits.
Now,
what's all this about then? This really is not what he is expecting. He was joking with his team, I gather, on the end of the first race. He came over the radio and said, "Hey guys, my engine's given up," and it was a joke, and he came through to win, but something has seriously gone wrong this time.
It sounds like an engine management problem, some electrical problem of some sort. He was dropping the clutch and revving it up still as he came in the pits, maybe trying to clear the engine or something, and they're looking at the electronics in the car now. So situation very different on the front of the grid.
Yeah, that is a big shame for Plato. It leaves the door open for Gordon Shedden, ready for the second race of the day. Lights out, here we go then, and it's Shedden going from what was second on the grid. Here comes Turkington though. Watch out for Turkington and the orange BMW. He's got away well this time. Can he get into second place? I don't think he will, because he's on the outside and he's got Johnny Adam on his inside. Oh, tentative moments indeed. In fact, he may lose that place. It's Shedden leading. Jackson into second, and Turkington almost off there. Almost off. He might lose the place to Giovanardi. Giovanardi squeezes through, and he is passed, I think. And Turkington not getting a good first lap in.
Yeah, the outside of turn 1 is not the place to be. We've seen it in every race so far, and Turkington should have known that, but he didn't want to give up the advantage he got off the line, and Giovanardi following Adam through.
Giovanardi now tucked in behind the Airwaves BMW, the car that passed him at the end of that first race, but up front at the moment, the Cartridge World Set. Giovanardi going deep into the hairpin, trying to get that run on Johnny Adam. Couldn't really do much with it. Meanwhile, Turkington has got to watch out for Matt Neal, who's directly behind him, but it's Gordon Shedden on home turf here, who's leading. Matt Jackson in second place, Johnny Adam in third, 2 Scots in the top 3, going well for the home fans, but Giovanardi's breathing down Johnny Adams' neck.
He looks really aggressive. Don't forget, Giovanardi knows the BMWs take a couple of laps to get their tyres up to the same sort of temperature that the front-wheel drive cars do, and he's trying to maximise. Let's stay on board, hopefully, with Giovanardi. Look how fast he is and how much curb he takes. Now, that was perfect. Adam went right wide for him. He already had more momentum, and he was passed instantly.
That was fantastic. What a great time to be riding on board. He's taken that place. He's up into third position now, and Fabrizio Giovanardi on the charge here with Shedden leading. Second place Matt Jackson, but now it's Giovanardi, the reigning champion, up into third place. Turkington still in the mix down there behind Johnny Adam. Then it is the other Vauxhall of Andrew Jordan, Stephen Jelly in there as well. Harry Folkard's 8th, Paul O'Neill 9th, James Thompson is in 10th, and Matt Neal, he only gained a couple of places on the opening lap. We'll see if he comes through, having gained any more this time. Top two really close together as they go across the line. There's Paul O'Neill and James Thompson. O'Neill trying to hold on to his 9th place. Folkard takes to the curb, just about gets back on.
Yeah, he just had to back out of it to avoid going through the gravel there and let everyone through.
So fantastic racing here in the early stages of this second race. Johnny Adam under a bit more pressure again. Turkington's got him. Turkington down the inside, so it's Adam who made a mistake that time, lost the momentum, and he's lost the place to Turkington. So Colin Turkington back in a 4th place where he started from.
Yeah, he seems to be really struggling through that chicane. That's his ball point. Well, Volkart's out. It looks like he actually had a problem, and that's why he's out. Jordan alongside Jelly, and he'll come out in front, but with Paul O'Neill alongside as well.
Let's get some news from the pits with Louise.
Yeah, down at the Racing Silverline garage beside Jason Plato's car, there's a problem with the engine. It's a misfire. The team did manage to get the car fired up. They pushed him back out into the pit lane, and it looked for a while like he was going to be joining the track, but it cut out. They pushed it back in. A lot of conversations going on here. Jason Plato's shaking his head, but really it's all gone wrong for him.
Oh, it's a great shame. Thanks, Louise, for the update. Meanwhile, up front at the moment, we're on board with Gordon Shedden, the race leader, and it's Plato's teammate who is right behind him. That is Matt Jackson, of course. He's had one victory so far this year, joined the series a little later than Jason, a meeting behind, but really in the hunt here, I would say, with Gordon Shedden. Having a little look down the inside here. Is there a chance? Where's he gone? There he is. He's alongside. Battle for the lead is well and truly on here. Shedden's trying to squeeze him out, but he might not have enough. Yes, he's just got the overlap. That was close.
That was close, wasn't it? We know how quick the Chevrolet is, but Shedden very brave there, moving over across in front of him, just got the overlap. He desperately wants to win in front of his home crowd, but look at Giovanardi right up behind these two now.
Yeah, he has really caught them over the last lap, hasn't he? On board with Giovanardi now. You're sitting in 3rd place as you come up over the John R. Weir chicane. Oh, he clips that barrier on the inside. Hopefully that won't have damaged the car. That's how hard he's trying. Up towards Carlube, into the right-hander. Jackson looking for a start. Giovanardi's got a great run, but can he go anywhere? Yes, he can.
Well, Giovanardi carried so much speed through Carlube there, and in fact Jackson went to block him and opened the door for him.
That was amazing. I've never really seen many moves like that here at Knockhill, but Giovanardi is flying, and now there's just one place to go for him to take the lead of this race from Gordon Shedden. But yep. Gordon on home turf, as you say, won't want to give this one up.
No, he'll try and defend and hope that Jackson has an opportunity to fight back at Giovanardi, but he really won't leave the door open, that's for sure. Watch him cover the inside as they go down through into Scotsman.
On board with the race leader, you're looking right back at the double champion Fabrizio Giovanardi. Still wants to keep this championship alive. And let's have a look from Giovanardi's point of view. Again, he's using those curves. Didn't get the momentum quite that time that he did last time around.
But he is absolutely immense through that chicane, and he really carries so much speed. I mean, the other drivers need to be watching this tape.
Yeah, that's right. See his technique. It is very impressive. Now, heading down towards the hairpin. Not quite close enough, I wouldn't have thought. As Shedden just protects his position, leading this race. First time I'm sure we've seen the Cartridge World Car leading a race in British Touring Cars. They're having a fantastic weekend, but can they keep it there? That's the question, with double champion Giovanardi breathing down their necks.
It's a great battle, this, and I fancy that Turkington will be, he's actually the quickest man on the circuit there, a 54.0. He's very, very quick, so he might be latching on to the back of this battle. He's not out of it yet.
No, that's right. Colin Turkington sitting in 4th place, aware that and he really clips the tyres that time. And look, he's had a great run again. Shedden has to go defensive, has to protect the inside. Giovanardi's going to get a better run through the corner. Now, Now, can he use it? Oh, Shedden doing well.
He just ran out onto the grass creep there, which probably lost his momentum a little bit, but he's still looking to get down the inside of Shedden into the real radio hairpin.
Yeah, no chance there. Meanwhile, Plato's just got back out the pits. I've just seen, and look at this. Can he get? No, can't get up the inside. Shedden very aware that he's got to get to the right there so that he has the inside line for the first corner. Over the hill, climbing all the way and then dropping down into turn one. Giovanardi's having a little look down the inside. No, not quite.
Very little braking required for that first one, and you really have to be completely alongside if the other driver... Oh, the tyres have been knocked out wide there down at Scotsman's corner, so they have to do some quick thinking to avoid that.
Yeah, that's the thing here. The track can change, can't it, from one lap to another. There's Plato back out, and he's trying to keep out of the way of the leaders. He's just rejoined from the pit lane. They're trying to make sure the car's okay for race 3, I'm sure.
Yeah, Plato actually, I think, was just pulling over, which means his team won't be able to work on the car now until they get it back after the race, which is going to possibly hinder their progress in fixing that problem for the last race. Oh, lock up from Shedden, and immediately Giovanardi's through on the inside. A little bit of a tap to make sure Shedden goes wide. Jackson will surely get through.
Oh, yes, he did gone through, so that's Jackson into second. Well, that was Giovanardi, the hard man, giving no quarter there. He had the chance. It was Shedden's mistake that left the door open, and Shedden will be kicking himself, but as you say, Giovanardi made absolutely sure of it, didn't he? Let's take a look at it.
This is on board with Turkington, looking forwards. You see Shedden lock up. Giovanardi always takes a tight line anyway and then just lets the car run out wide, which means that Shedden has to go through the gravel, loses momentum, and Jackson's right there to pick it up.
This was the view from on board Shedden, and he gets the squeeze, ends up in the gravel trap, loses the drive off the corner, and then has to give up another place to Matt Jackson. So it is Giovanardi now leading, the man who took 2 victories at Snetterton, who wants to reignite this championship chase. 20 points behind that man, Turkington, coming into this race, but this is a good opportunity to narrow the gap a little bit. And Knockhill, as we always know, is such a critical stage of any championship, and Giovanardi's making the most of it here.
Yeah, and that little incident with Shedden has allowed Turkington to close up. He needs to be a bit aggressive now. He can see that Giovanardi's 2 places in front of him.
Matt Jackson might have given up. The safety car, I gather, is coming out because of that, because those tyres have been more, and O'Neill moves them even more. And Matt Neal coming around, it's not great having those tyres right there. So the safety car, I gather, is coming out on circuit, and that's going to bunch everybody together again.
Yeah, and that was Plato's abandoned car there and on the approach to car loop, so I'm not sure if they're going to take the opportunity to move that car as well, but they'll certainly move those tyres.
O'Neill, by the way, has come up to 6th place, Paul O'Neill. We just saw him clip the tyres. That's good. He started back on the 5th row of the grid in 9th place, so he's made, there he is, in the Sunshine car. He has made up a few places there. He's up to 6th. Thompson is in 7th, a bit further behind. You just see in the background. And then Matt Neal in 8th place, Jelly in 9th, and then Chilton is currently in 10th position. So let's just take a look back at the start of the race again, Tim, and see what we can spot from Turkington's point of view.
Well, Turkington gets a great drive, and Shedden understandably goes to protect the inside from Jackson. But being alongside here, Turkington doesn't want to give in, gets pushed wide by the also following through Johnny Adam, and then can't get into the inside again. It's a bit like NASCAR being out on the outside line, just not being able to tuck back in. And then watch Giovanardi, he'll come slicing through there.
Great stuff, yeah. I mean, Giovanardi's so fired up, you can see it in the style of driving from him in this race in particular, and when he's in this kind of form, he is hard to stop. And Turkington actually, having got squeezed out there, he's probably did the sensible thing from a championship leader's point of view. You know, it wasn't worth fighting too hard at that stage.
No, it wasn't. I mean, you know, he needs to be looking in his mirrors and try and find the opportunity to tuck back into the train, if you like, without being too greedy.
So the tyres have been replaced. Plato's out of his car. As you say, the team now aren't going to be able to get their hands on it until this race is over and they can bring it back to the pits. Meanwhile, the guys are all keeping those tyres up to temperature, weaving around fairly vehemently as they come along the straight. I would imagine safety car will be back in this next lap because they have moved the tyres, which is what really caused the safety car. This has allowed a few people to close up. Of course, it will bring Johnny Adam onto the back of that leading quartet. So Adam in 5th, O'Neill in 6th, Thompson, then Matt Neal in 8th place. Remember, Matt came from the back of the grid, started in 17th place, Matt Neal, so he has been able to make good progress. Collard, meanwhile, who also started towards the back, of course, well, he's currently in 11th, just outside the points here. And remember also, we're looking at the reverse grid for the 3rd race of the day. anywhere between top 6 and top 10 cars might be reversed. Currently 6th is Paul O'Neill, currently in 10th place is Tom Chilton.
Safety car in this lap, but yeah, you're right. Thompson, who also started at the back, don't forget the engine broke down on the last lap of the first race.
Yeah.
He and Neil have really made great progress, and this safety car will help them close up again.
So it's all to play for. Giovanardi is in front at the moment. We're halfway through this second touring car race of the day. In fact, they'll add a lap or so because of the safety car being out. Everybody trying to get its position there as we get ready for the restart. Safety car peels off, and it is Fabrizio Giovanardi who leads the field across the line once again as the cars go on to lap 13 out of what is now a 26-lap race. Shedden in third place under pressure from Turkington, and behind them is still Johnny Adam and then Paul O'Neill and James Thompson.
Yeah, good restart, very even that, everybody accelerating away, pretty much the same sort of time as they came out of the hairpin, and at the moment even, but Turkington looking to apply pressure to Shedden very quickly.
Yeah, but Shedden's had a good first lap here, actually. He's got up to speed pretty quickly. Giovanardi doing well. Here's the move. Matt Neal down the inside of James Thompson, and he completes the move. That's for 7th. So Matt Neal still gaining places. And in a fight there with another former double champion. 4 titles between them, those two.
Yeah, not in a position to help Giovanardi this time. Oh, that's John George going off. I think that's down at Scotsman. But I asked Ian Harrison, you know, was it time to call team orders yet? And he said, well, obviously not for this race because Matt's off the back, but we might have to look at it after this one. So,
yeah, well,
stay tuned.
Right now, Giovanardi's right where he wants to be anyway, isn't he? Up front, Rob Collard, meanwhile, further back, battling with Tom Chilton in the Aon car. Chilton on the inside and Collard on the outside. That's not going to win, surely. Oh, amazed they got through there in one piece, and they've got Andrew Jordan breathing down their necks as well.
Yeah, good to see Chilton really sort of in the battle here. I mean, he's a great racer. It goes very well at this track, actually, and I think there have been some good signs of progress once again this meeting from the Aon Focus.
Yeah, it's good to see, as you mentioned, up amongst the other quick cars there, bottom end of the top 10, but nonetheless racing with the likes of Collard and Jordan. That's good news. Johnny Adam in the middle of that little group you're watching there. He's sitting in 5th place. Turkington still wants that podium finish if he possibly can. He's the one perhaps to keep an eye on, because as the BMW's tyres are again up to temperature after that safety car period, he's the one on the attack, and it's Gordon Shedden that he's trying to get past.
Yeah, you can see just a little bit of weight difference now between the cars. It's helping Turkington, and meaning Shedden has to defend a little bit more than he would like, or certainly than he did in the first race.
Tight into those tyres. Those were the ones that got moved earlier on, but everyone's just managing to avoid them. Up over the chicane, bouncing over the curbs, right out to the edge once again, and then just this little climb uphill into the right-hander. Very little to choose between them. Yeah, the BMW were on board. If you listen to the throttle trace, he can't get back on the throttle until the car lands after the chicane, whereas the front-wheel drive car can just keep on the throttle because it's pulling the car forward. Oh, look down the inside, and he's inside. He is inside, and he's got it. He's gone through. And Shedden must have thought that he was too far back to have a go, but Turkington saw that little gap and said, I'm coming through. There's determination from Turkington as well as Giovanardi in this race. Yeah, it was a good clean blast, and I noticed Shedden didn't try and stay around the outside of that time. He knew he'd be in the gravel. This is the view from Shedden's car, Tim. Talk us through it. Well, it looks like he is too far back, but he just eases off the brakes and just runs up the inside. A little bit of fiberglass there, but nothing too serious, and a good pass. So Turkington is up into 3rd place. Gordon Shedden drops to 4th. Remember, he is carrying more ballast than he was in the first race, and it does seem to be hurting that Seat just a little bit now. And the closing, so Matt Neal gains another place. Matt Neal gets past Johnny Adam, and that puts Matt Neal now into 5th place. Meanwhile, O'Neill has got ahead there, so Paul O'Neill is now sitting in 5th position. James Thompson's trying to get past as well. I don't know if Johnny Adam's got a problem. It does make you feel as though he has. He's not really able to fight quite as much as he wants. Oh, chance there for Thompson. Yeah, Johnny Adam was good there. He gave him some room, but as you say, maybe the car not quite to his liking, but a great drive from the back by these two former champions, Neal and Thompson. Yeah, good to see, isn't it? And there's Andrew Jordan further back. Got Stephen Jelly in the foreground. Andrew Jordan down the inside. That car doesn't look quite happy either. Well, he's certainly got the car set up quite loose. In other words, the rear end is not gripping too much. It gives him good front-end pointability. Oh, a bit offline there, Thompson initially, and that's put him wide there, but no advantage for Adam Gain. But yeah, certainly Jordan's car looking very spectacular on the approach to the first corner. Yeah, well, he's using all his rallycross car control skills, no doubt, but I'm not sure it's all running quite as it should. Meanwhile, up front, remember, it's still Giovanardi who leads the race. Jackson in second, Turkington in third. There you are, looking at the lead group. And look at the background. Paul O'Neill's trying to take fourth now from Gordon Shedden. It's O'Neill on the inside, and the Honda Integra, the trusty Honda Integra that has been such a stalwart of British touring car racing over the years. I think it's going to go and gain another place. He's through.
Yeah, good move. I mean, this is perhaps not surprising, and it shows that the sporting regulations really do work, because the Cartridge World team never have run this car with 45 kilos of success ballast before. So it's not surprising perhaps that they haven't got the right setup just to carry that way. Oh, he gets a good run there, and Paul O'Neill has to defend and block. But I think nevertheless Gordon Shedden's put up a brave fight.
Yeah, O'Neill made a bit of a mistake, and again he's lost momentum, so Shedden might be able to get him back here as they come down towards the hairpin. But O'Neill makes sure he's got the inside. Look who's behind, it's Matt Neal. Oh, Matt Neal taps Paul O'Neill, and he just gets him back under control. Matt Neal's going to try and take advantage of that, but O'Neill's still got in front. But Matt Neal has got past Gordon Shedden.
Yeah, that was always on the cards. Matt's been hunting these two down, and with Shedden and O'Neill getting together, gave Matt the opportunity to get up the inside.
Tell you what, the Vauxhall's really working well here today compared to qualifying yesterday. In the cooler temperatures, the Vauxhall's really struggled, but in this race particularly, Tim, both Giovanardi and Matt Neal are flying.
Both, they've got the setup dialed for these conditions, so look at the speed Matt took through there. He's taking a very, look at that. Oh, this is his favourite place to overtake.
And he's done it, surely.
Yeah, that's his favourite place to pass. Oh, and Shedden into the back of O'Neill. It's all getting close. Thompson now, they're going to be three abreast.
Oh, which way do you go? And look, Thompson's got past Shedden as a result of that. So James Thompson, as you say, still coming from the back like Matt Neal. And Thompson now wants to have a little look at O'Neill. Oh, little nudge. And that's given Shedden another chance to get up the inside.
Yeah, Shedden looked like he was on the rallycross course there, didn't he? The right front wheel was definitely in the dirt, but great racing. Oh, Johnny Adams got through.
Wow, this is great stuff. Johnny Adams goes through. Oh, and there's a little contact between Shedden and Collard. Collard in the second of the Airwaves BMWs there. Just a little nudge between them. And then you've got the Team RAC car, Stephen Jelly. Then you've got Andrew Jordan, and just off the back of the group, wishing he could join in again, is Tom Chilton. This is great touring car racing, and Knockhill always serves up a treat. It's doing so again here.
It's such a spectacular track, and the opportunity to lose and gain time through these blind corners does make for great racing. And side by side in the background, that's Andrew Jordan slipping past Jelly.
Yeah, that was a move by Jordan, so the third of the Vauxhalls gaining another place, but it puts him into the top 10. That could be crucial come the reverse grid stakes, of course. Meanwhile, taking a look back, see if there's going to be a change. Shedden still under pressure here from Collard, as we're right on board with Johnny Adam. 20 laps have been completed. We're on lap 21 out of 26 now, so still some opportunities for the odd place change.
This will be one of those races where afterwards the drivers or someone will say, do you remember when such and such? He said, no, I obviously don't remember. There was so much happening, I can't remember the incident.
Oh, Jordan had got past Jelly, and Jelly's trying to retake the spot. Oh, side by side, robbing again. Jordan ends up in the gravel trap, Jelly's through, and Chilton says, hey, back in the game. I'm back in the game. I'm going to play this as well. He squeezes between the two of them.
Yeah, great stuff. That was always on the cards. Down the inside, Jelly was always going to push Jordan wide, and good opportunity moved by Chilton.
So the Team A on focus, right in there, tucked in behind Stephen Jelly, and Andrew Jordan's going to have to lick his wounds and get back up there again. Wonderful racing between these guys, all charging. Doesn't matter whether it's for the win or for the final point, they're all pushing just as hard. Up front, by the way, it's still Giovanardi leading by 1.7 seconds from Matt Jackson, with third place Colin Turkington, the championship leader, who is going to lose a little bit of that lead to Giovanardi. In the background, Shedden versus Collard. Here we go, side by side. Shedden ahead of Collard. Just Collard slides it as he comes through that first corner.
He's having to defend up the hill with that extra weight on board, and he's proving a tough ask with Gordon Shedden, but he's also taking the most out of his tyres as well.
Yeah, it was always going to be difficult to repeat the success, that second place he had in the first race. But Gordon Shedden really getting to grips with his Seat and enjoying himself, I'm sure. Collard, though, tucked in behind. The car repaired, of course, after that incident in race 1. Seems to be running pretty well now, doesn't it?
Yeah, a quick £9,000 worth of rear suspension parts. The same corner that got damaged, and a little bit of front end damage coming on there.
Oh,
well,
that was
that was a little bit of a let's just push you wide and slip up the inside because it's the easiest way past.
Yeah, that was definitely a bit of pushing going on there. I think that might be one the stewards will look at later. but all part and parcel, but you don't always get away with it, especially if it's on camera. So James Thompson, he's in the middle of that group, 6th place at the moment. Thompson coming from a long way back on the grid, of course, so that's good effort. On board Shedden, and off goes, is that Adam? Or is that Collard? That was Collard, yeah, he's getting his own back.
Yeah, that was a straightforward retaliation, I think, no question there, because it looked like down at Scotsman, Shedden did exactly the same thing to Collard that Collard did to him. Yeah,
and it's allowed Chilton to join in again. There's Jordan right behind as well. Andrew Jordan's going to try and get alongside the Focus, but he can't do it. And can the Focus stay ahead of him down towards the hairpin? Looks as though he can. That engine's definitely producing more horsepower now in the Ford Focus. A lot of development work has been going on into that by the team. Andrew Jordan's going to try and tuck up the inside, but no, I think Chilton will be able to cover that. As he good exit out of the hairpin, really gets the initial drive down very well and climbs up the hill. But it's Giovanardi leading this race, and we get into the closing stages now. Let's just take a little look back at some of that. This was, yeah, the Shedden Collard incident, I think.
Yes, revenge is a dish best served, etc. But certainly sorted Collard out, but lost a place to Jelly as well.
Yes, that's right. But I think at that point, I think Gordon felt it was worth it, probably.
Yeah.
Matt Jackson and Turkington. There's John George a lap down. There's Matt Neal. What a drive by Matt Neal, 4th place.
Fantastic drive. Both Matt Neal and James Thompson really good. And these are the races the driver really enjoys, actually. He starts at the back, nothing to lose, and picks his way through.
Remember, poor Jason Plato hasn't been able to play in this one. Car pulled off into the pits after the formation lap. He did come out briefly, but the car stopped on him, so he's beside the track and not playing any part in this with great disappointment. And it's Giovanardi who's fought his way to the front. Matt Jackson sitting in 2nd. There's Turkington in 3rd. And the championship contenders are still scoring points consistently. Surely one or other is going to have a problem at some point, but at the moment Giovanardi leading this race, then Jackson, then Turkington, big gap then. There's a lapped car in between them and the next car position-wise, that is Matt Neal. Paul O'Neill is in 5th place, Thompson 6th, Adam 7th, Jelly 8th, Shedden is 9th now, and Andrew Jordan in 10th.
Yeah, as they come along round the Real Radio hairpin, Giovanardi starts his last lap. He'll be very pleased with this. The car's worked well for him. He's pushed through fairly but aggressively, and he's going to score points over Turkington.
So across the line they go, onto their last lap then, as you say, and Giovanardi really has come alive in this 2nd race, showing all the skills, all the abilities that we've seen over the last couple of years. The tyres have been moved again. Let's hope that doesn't catch anybody out on this final lap. That really would be a great shame. So easy to clip those tyres. And there the fans up on the outside of the chicane, really soaking up some of the best touring car racing of the season, with Giovanardi now having a useful advantage over Matt Jackson and Colin Turkington. Turkington just looking for a mistake perhaps on the last lap from Matt Jackson. I don't think he's going to find one, but it won't stop the non-Irishman trying. He'll throw everything at this. Another couple of points, of course, if he can finish in 2nd. Giovanardi, by the way, will get the fastest lap as well. That's worth the bonus point. And that all helps as we go in towards that championship battle. But it's victory for Giovanardi. 2nd place goes to Matt Jackson. Excellent run from him. 3rd for Turkington, just keeping that championship advantage alive. Matt Neal is going to take 4th place. Now what's going on here? Andrew Jordan is trying to take 9th from Gordon Shedden. I don't think he's quite going to do it. Up to the line they come. It is Shedden who finishes 9th. Andrew Jordan 10th. Chilton just beating Collard across the line. Chilton finishes 11th. Collard finishes in 12th place. But it's that man, Fabrizio Giovanardi, who has taken success after the victories that he enjoyed at Snetterton. He won both of the opening races of the day at Snetterton. He's now taken his 5th win of the season. He's won here in the past, of course. His first ever British touring car victory was here at Knockhill when it was Vauxhall's 100th win. I tell you what, that victory was just as crucial in many ways because it keeps him absolutely in the hunt for the championship after starting further back on the grid than he would have liked, especially in race 1 earlier today. So he's fought his way from a poor qualifying yesterday. In the 2 races, he's come through to the victory in this one, and he'll be well pleased with that. Matt Jackson, 2nd place. That's a good result for him. That's 2 podiums today for Matt Jackson. And I think after the bad luck that he's suffered so far this season, that is fully justified, and Turkington up there too. Confirmation of the result, Giovanardi, Jackson and Turkington are podium finishers. Matt Neal fighting his way from the back to finish 4th. Paul O'Neill a solid 5th. And James Thompson also coming from a long way down to finish 6th. Johnny Adam dropped back a little, but still kept it up there in the top 10, finishing 7th. ahead of Stephen Jelly. And Gordon Shedden, one of the fighters of that race, but he did drop away to 9th in the end. Andrew Jordan picking up the final point in 10th. Just outside the top 10, Tom Chilton, but he'll have enjoyed that battle. Rob Collard also behind him, then Martin Johnson. John George had a couple of problems. Pinkney also out of the race, I'm afraid. Harry Volkard had problems, and Jason Plato never really made it into the race. So in the overall standings, good for Giovanardi because it's just narrowed the gap slightly. It's down to 13 points. It was 20 points before that race. So that's made a little bit of difference, and Giovanardi's keeping that pressure on. Plato and Matt Neal are tied on 144 points. James Thompson has just stretched out a little bit over Rob Collard. They were tied coming into this race. Then it's Jelly, Jordan, Matt Jackson and Johnny Adam. Those last three all very, very close on points. So the championship very much alive with Giovanardi's victory there. Superb win by him. The Italian doing the job once again for Vauxhall. And Vauxhall really coming alive with their cars in that race, with Matt Neal battling his way from the very back of the grid. They've obviously got a car that's working well in these slightly warmer conditions today. The sunshine has just brought the track temperature up a few degrees. Engineers down there have been working very hard to get the setup right, and it's, well, whatever sums they've been doing, they have certainly worked. Let's get down and get some reaction with Steve in pit lane.
Yeah, a fantastic race, especially in the midfield, but a superlative drive up front from the defending champion, Fabrizio Giovanardi. Congratulations on the race win, and exactly how satisfying was that?
Yeah, it was a great moment because, you know, we had difficulty in qualifying. I had to start 11th at the bad start for the race. It's a great job for the team. For my car, it was unbelievable. We discovered after qualifying what was the problem, and that's it, we won.
How early on did you realise that you actually had the pace to go on and win that race?
Immediately. I've seen the car fighting, and then when I was free to attack the first two cars, I felt my car really fast, so I said, well, calm down, you can do it. I did it.
Can you explain exactly what it was about the setup that you've absolutely nailed today?
It's quite easy to say. I mean, until the Snetterton, we worked on the hot weather. For the hot weather here was really cold, so we were struggling. Was why. So after qualifying, we changed the car, and that's it.
And the momentum that you achieved, especially your pace through the chicane, I mean, that left everyone standing.
I don't know. I tried to make the maximum everywhere, and yeah, in the jump, in the chicane, the car was great. It was great in the landing, so very easy to drive. So that's why I win.
Satisfying, especially to get past Colin Turkington on that first lap. Yeah. How do you read the championship situation now? Yeah,
he left me the room to come in and said it's the time to go in. I'm fighting against him at the moment. I've seen Plato struggling, stopping on the next has to be Colin, so that's why I did.
And no doubt you feel that you have the pace, you have the setup to turn it into race victory and race 3 from wherever you start on the grid.
Oh, it depends how long will be the reverse grid. I mean, if we start with 7 cars, I could be, but again, I will carry ballast. I was empty now, so we change the history.
Great exhibition today and a tremendous victory for Fabrizio Giovanardi, our second race winner here at Knockhill, and of course that third race still to come just after 5 o'clock with its reshuffled reverse grid, and we'll have the draw for that grid. Johnny Herbert will be helping us make it when we return to Knockhill in a few minutes' time.